What's up, people of the internet? This is Will, also known as Potato Butcher, and today I'm bringing you a video where I go over the worst aspects or the worst parts of Call of Duty World War 2. Now bear in mind, this is a beta, and the beta, yes, it's for us to try out the game, but it's mainly there to provide feedback for the developer to improve the game before the game launches this coming November. And so in this video, me going over the worst stuff in the beta could potentially help the game to go in the right direction. Now, I'm not a big YouTuber, I don't know how many views I'm going to get, but just having a voice, having an opinion might actually help the game in the long run. So we're going to get into this right now. So I've got 13 things. Now some of these things are very small, some quite game breaking to an extent, but some of these, if not most, can be fixed very easily. So that's why there's so many things. And then in a separate video soon, I will also do the good aspects of this game, because there are a really good amount of things that I like about this game. So let's get into it. So at number 13, and if this was changed or not, I wouldn't bother me, but gun turrets. For me, gun turrets, I've never liked them. It takes the skill out of the game to an extent. It means that if you try push down a lane and there's a gun turret that overlooks it, you're pretty much just going to get shredded by the thing. And it just slows the game down to a point where no one will go down that lane if there's someone on a gun turret. And the thing is that they've not been in Call of Duty since, I believe, Modern Warfare 3, and so that is saying something. And so the fact they're back somewhat worries me. I mean, we've not seen all the maps. Maybe they're only on some maps, but I would prefer gun turrets just to be taken out, so it just comes down to you and your gun only. Next, we've got no bumper jumper button layout. So what is bumper jumper? Some of you might not have used it. So bumper jumper is where it switches your jump button to L1 if you're playing on PlayStation, and X to use your tactical equipment. And so for me, I adjusted to this layout for the advanced movement games like Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare. And to me, not having this option now in a boots on the ground experience is actually quite hurting me, because I can't jump with X. I just can't do it. I have to jump with L1. I find it more comfortable for me personally, and it'd be great if that was in the game. So bumper jumper needs to be in the game at launch, otherwise, well, it's going to be very difficult for most people. Next is the minimap. To me, I don't know what it is with the minimap, but the minimap to me is very misleading sometimes. Probably in my own mind, it's not misleading obviously, really, but to me it just throws me off, and I just don't like the way it looks, and I just find it really difficult to actually read the map on this game. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Minimap is one thing that maybe you could do with a bit of tweaking here and there, but we'll see what happens when it comes towards launch. Next we're going to have callouts. What do I mean by callouts? Well, they've been in the previous, so many Call of Duties anyway, but it's where you run around, or you're moving around, or someone's moving around, and you hear another teammate shout, "On the balcony," and you're thinking, right, okay, that means there's someone on the balcony, but you yourself have not seen that player on the balcony, and so now you know, right, well, there's a player at the balcony. They're not on the map, but because someone shouted it out, I know they're there. And to me, in this game, you can actually use this to your advantage quite a lot. I've heard somewhere they've been going in the trench, and I'm next to a trench, not in the trench myself, and I know now, right, there's a guy coming up on my left, so I spin around to the left, see the guy, bang, dead. To me, things like that just create, it's hard to explain, but to me, I just don't find it balanced or fair on the person that is potentially moving around. I don't know, but for me, it needs to be taken out of the game, or at least toned down massively compared to what it is now. Next, we're going to talk about score streaks. Now, visually, and this is something I'm going to mention in the other video about the good stuff, the score streaks look and sound amazing, but some of them just don't have any score streak power behind them. The paratroopers, I think, are absolutely crap. I've used them a couple of times. I maybe got like 2 kills, if that. I haven't even bothered putting them on. The strafing runner, whatever you call it, fighter pilot it might be. That thing is, you could have a bit more damage, I'm not going to lie. Just doesn't have enough damage coming down from the actual like turrets as you're shooting, and it's quite easy to dodge, so that needs a bit of a buff. And the glide bomb, even though I like the glide bomb and it's my favourite streak so far in the build, it needs a very slight speed buff just so the bomb can land quicker down onto the ground. But score streaks, they're a bit underpowered to some extent, and they need a bit of a tweaking done to those. Okay, so next we're going to talk about score points. So what are score points? Well, if you get a kill in, say, Team Deathmatch, you get 100 points. If you get an assist, you get, I think, 50. And this all builds up towards your score. Most of the game modes are okay, but there is one which is Domination, where the score points are just not high enough at all. Like, you get 50 points for a kill in Domination, and if you are rocking, say, the care package, which I believe is like 575 maybe, roughly around there, it was going to take you almost 10 kills without any objective play or anything like that to obtain a care package, and to me that needs to be tweaked. And so score points need to be how they have been in, say, like Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, I think, had the perfect system for it. 200 for a capture, 200 for a capture kill, and 100 points per kill when it's not an objective. Perfect system, and it needs to be implemented into COD World War 2. Next, I want to talk about suppressors. So for me, the suppressor, I don't agree with the fact that it's only available for SMGs. I think the suppressor should be available to every class whatsoever. Otherwise, what ends up happening is if you want to use a suppressor, you have to use an SMG, and to me, that isn't fair. It's not fair. It's been in all the other CODs where a suppressor can go on anything, and now it's only available on SMGs. That needs to be tweaked. That needs to be able to be put on every single gun, regardless what class it is. Next, we're going to talk about Incendiary Rounds. So the Incendiary Rounds, to me, are a bit on the OP side. I mean, I've been in a medium range gunfight. I might have the clip, actually. If I've got the clip, I'll insert it in. But I'm sure those of you who have played the beta know how irritating these are. The range and the damage on these things are absolutely ridiculous. You can pretty much one-shot someone at medium range, I've seen. And to me, it's a little bit ridiculous. But not just that, but if you get hit by one of these things and you don't die, and say for example you kill the person that's using the shotgun, the fire damage done to you will continue to burn you anyway, and you'll just end up dying in about a second, you know, maybe a second or two later. And to me, something needs changing there. I don't think it's very fair at all. If you've killed someone and then just a bit of flame damage manages to kill you, it's just a load of crap. So Incendiary Rounds are a no-go right now. They're absolutely ridiculous. Next, spawn system. It's not to the point where the spawns are bad, where you get shot in the back constantly and things like that, but the spawns just don't flip at all. I've played Team Deathmatch, I've played Domination and various other game modes where the spawns just will not flip for whatever reason, and one team just gets absolutely smacked because they keep spawning in the same place. All you have to do if you're the one that's not spawn trapped is just post up just outside their spawn and just pick them off as they move. And to me, some people do prefer it, but to me, I just don't enjoy that. I prefer it where if you push too far into their spawn, they're going to flip and spawn somewhere else. It gives them a chance, but also you don't get overwhelmed by a ton of players at the same time. I think it was a better system, so hopefully they change that before launch. Okay, next we're going to talk about grenades. Now, I'm not a fan of grenades in this game. They're way too powerful, and the fact is that every single person has access to a grenade regardless what their class is. Now, they might have a tactical grenade or a lethal grenade, but the lethal ones I think are just absolutely ridiculous. Their power is just immense and they need tweaking. Not only that, but teammate grenades also, if they hit you, your screen goes all like, you know, chaotic, and, you know, your hearing loss and all that rubbish. And your minimap gets disabled, your HUD's just turned off, and it impacts you just because a teammate's grenade's gone off next to you. And to me, that needs to go, because I've been in many situations where I'm taking an objective and a teammate throws a grenade onto the point thinking they're covering me, it hits right next to me, my screen goes all goofy, and then I get shot and killed because I can't even see what I'm doing. And to me, that needs to go. Next, gun balance. This obviously will be sorted closer to launch, but to me, SMGs are just way too dominant in this game. If you're not running an SMG, you are a major disadvantage. Now, yes, the STG assault rifle is a decent gun, but even the SMGs can outclass that if used properly. And the SMGs, to me, just don't have enough recoil. They have too much damage and too much range compared to pretty much every other weapon class. And to me, SMGs need tweaking massively. Next, I'm going to talk about the divisions. Now, to me, I hate divisions. I don't see the point in them. And to me, it actually changes the game to the point where I don't actually like playing. For me, the Pick 10 system, by far out of every single creator class system ever put into Call of Duty, is the superior one. The best creator class system, Pick 10 wise, was the one implemented into Black Ops 2, and it's just annoying when they change it and put it back to an old school creator class system. That doesn't work. To me, say for example the infantry division, you get a bayonet, you get extra attachments, extra magazines, and being able to aim down sights and strafe at a faster movement speed. I don't agree with the fact that you have to pick that division just to have maybe one of those perks. Another one, and this is a huge one, let's say for example you are an objective player and you want to have the flak jacket, which I believe is in the supported like division. I don't know the name of it, but it's in the support one, which is like the LMG category. To me, I don't see why I have to select that division and have some useless perks in that just so I can survive some grenades. To me, I don't like it. They need to, and otherwise, I mean, I'll still play World War 2, but to me, it's just going to wreck the experience. There's no customization with this at all, and it sets players back, and they can't play to a playstyle that they like. That's why the Pick 10 system is a good system, because you can pick things that you want. I really rarely ever use a pistol or a secondary. So, if I don't want to run a secondary, I should be able to put that into something else that I'm going to find worthwhile. But in this game, not so. In this game, everything's preset, and everyone has access to a grenade as well. I don't like that. I prefer Call of Duty where it's the Pick 10 system, where if you want to run a grenade, that's fine. You can run a grenade all you want. But you have to use that grenade, and you'll have to give up, say, an extra perk slot or an extra attachment or something instead of it. And to me, it made grenades less overused, and it made it a bit more balanced. So, divisions, hate the system completely. It's my worst thing actual in the game, and they need to change it. They just need to get rid of it. It is not a good system at all, and I just hate it. I can't say any worse or anything like that. So, divisions, get rid. Okay, and the biggest thing, and this, I understand it is a beta, so, or beta, however you want to say it, hit detection. I've been in situations where I've shot someone first, and suddenly I just get melted. The hit detection is off, the connection might be just wonky or something, but something is not right. The game feels inconsistent at times, and that makes me get irritated, and makes me just not want to play. If the hit detection is off when it comes to launch, I will not play. When it came to Advanced Warfare, the game was laggy to the point where I just didn't even bother playing. I just didn't play it. I didn't boot it up or anything. Eventually, when I ended up getting myself a router, the NetDoomer, where I could block certain connections that were, say, far away from where I live, that made the experience actually enjoyable. But to me, if it's going to go down that route again, then World War II is just going to go down the pot. It's not even going to do well. They have to sort the connections and the hit detection out, because right now, very inconsistent and it's just crap. That's my 13 things that I did not like about the beta. A bit longer than normal, but to me, valid points from what my experience has been. You might not agree with some of these. You might say, oh, the gun balance is perfect, which is fine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember, this is not for bashing the game or anything. This is to provide feedback to Sledgehammer, the developer, to improve this game. So if you liked the video, then hit the like button below. If you didn't, then hit the dislike button. And if you want to see more content from me, then hit that subscribe button and click notifications. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.